As we always do before we get started, we just want to thank you all for the support. It really means a lot. Again, thank you all for the support. Also, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to the content. Again, like, share, and subscribe to the content. That really helps. So again, if you are watching this video, all right, please hit that like button, share it to somebody, and hit that subscription bell. We are almost at 100,000 subscribers. Once we get to 100,000, I will have a special giveaway for everyone. Well, not for everyone. I'm sorry. You have the opportunity, if you're a subscriber, to win a special prize. For us hitting 100,000. Also, Patreon. Become a monthly Patreon. Patreon.com. Search for Uhuru. Again, Patreon.com. Search for Uhuru. It would really mean a lot. Again, contribute, you guys, so we could continue to grow. Again, we don't have the budget like CBS, TNT, NBC, and ESPN. We're getting there. So with that being said, we need your support so we continue to grow. And then go to dynastymir.com, dynastymir.com. While you're there, make sure you buy some merchandise. Buy the newly released It's Libation Time, a children's guide to the ancestors, the newest children's book. Guys, make sure you go cop a copy of that. And then April 21st through the 30th, April 21st through the 30th, Sierra Leone. Come and join us in Sierra Leone, you guys. We're going to have an awesome time. It's going to be a great trip. Again, come and join us in Sierra Leone, everyone, April 21st through the 30th. Come and join us. Without further ado, guys, make sure you message me if you have any questions. Send me an email. Go to dynastymir.com if you have any questions about the trip or just anything in general. Without further ado, we have Mr. Jaaye, Person-Lynn, Esquire, lawyer, attorney of law. Is it attorney of law or attorney in law? Jay, you there? Uh-oh. I think we lost the brother. He'll hop back on once he gets his connection situated. Again, he will hop back on once he gets his connection situated. Everyone, thank you for being patient. Brother Fitzgerald, I'll probably send you the link. Oh, hold on, what's this, brother? What's going on here? Brother Fitzgerald, I'm gonna send you the link here. Or let them call in and get your feedback, Brother Fitzgerald Stevens. Let me remove him from that. Remove, there we go, bam. Okay, I lost you for a second. We got you.
Yeah, I'm back.
You're back. So we have Mr. Jaaye, Person-Lynn, Esquire, attorney at law. And today's topic, we want to get Jay's background and, Mr. Attorney Lynn, I guess had a altercation with the police. We're going to that. And then also, too, I tell people this. When I started traveling to Africa in 2011, I guess going back to Africa was for the Hoteps or the conscious community. And at the time when I went, I was in corporate America doing very, very well, making very good money, actually out there in LA. And then, when I would go, people were like, Dynast, the amount of money you make, Dynast, why are you taking trips to Africa? And I'm just like, you wouldn't understand until you actually go and visit. He's like, yeah, Dynast, the amount of money you're making in corporate America, why not just go to the islands or go to Europe or Thailand? Like, why are you going to Africa with the amount of money you're making, Dynast? Speed up to about 2017, I noticed a shift. More Black people in corporate America were beginning to travel to Africa and hit me up. So, today's topic is being successful in corporate America does not excuse you from having an Africa plan. And the reason why is because, we've all had our run-ins here in America, no matter how, even me personally in LA, I wore in fact, guys, this is how I used to dress in LA when I did sales. This is my sales book, Sales Motivation 101. Get off your ass and cold call. That's me. That's my suit. I wore a nice suit every day, slim fit, Windsor knot every day. And I was still getting harassed by the police in my Porsche. So just because you're successful in corporate America, just because you have all these degrees, does not make you exempt from the BS here in America. So, Mr. Lynn, I'm sorry, Attorney Lynn, go ahead, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Jaaye Person-Lynn, an abolitionist that earns his money as a criminal defense attorney here in Los Angeles and all throughout Southern California. Born and raised in Los Angeles, fourth generation on my father's side. On my mother's side, that part of the family is from the East Coast, Virginia, New Jersey. Um, Hampton University undergrad graduate, Howard University School of Law graduate for law school. Came back home, worked for the public defenders for 6 years, and then opened up my own practice. In October 4th, made 7 years in the practice, in my own practice. And yeah, and today I sit awaiting sentencing for being convicted of delaying or obstructing an officer inside of a courtroom. And the act I actually got convicted of was removing that officer's hand off my chest after the second time he had pushed me based on his disbelief that I was the attorney that I said I was. I
Wow.
was, yeah. So that's where I sit now. And like you, my first time in Africa was 2006. I did a study abroad in Cape Town.
Oh, wow.
And what I really want people to know is, you go out there, people, they might be the Zulu tribe, the Xhosa tribe. I don't never get the click right. All the different tribes, and so you see that's how people identify people with their tribe, um, in addition to the race. And so, as Black Americans or descendants of enslaved Africans in America, people look at us as a tribe, and when they look at us as a tribe, it's like we're a pretty amazing tribe. Like Michael Jordan comes from our tribe, Michael Jackson comes from our tribe. All the great minds in science and tech, in art and law that come from our tribe, people respect it. And so what it did for me was finally put me in an environment that uh, respects me and uplifts me, as opposed to the environment here that seeks to diminish me at every step of the way. No matter how good I do, uh, it's going to be diminished. And that's so being outside of that environment and being in a place that um, really appreciates me, it just felt good. So I've been back 6 times. The only other country I've been to is Eswatini, formerly called Swaziland. And I was supposed to go to Nigeria, but I learned the hard way about their visa requirements. So that
What
prevented.
happened? What happened?
And I spent the whole time getting the flight, setting up the trip, all of that, thinking, I'm in LA. I could just go to the consulate, get my visa, and be on about my business. And when I realized, oh, I have to send my passport to DC or
No, no.
Atlanta.
No. You can get it done in LA.
Nah, they don't have an opportunity to get
Yeah,
a.
dude, Fabian went on a trip with me too. Well, we actually did visa on arrival for Fabian, but you can get it done in LA. I promise you. They got a consulate in LA. You can get it done in LA. How long ago was this?
This was going into New Year's 2019, I believe.
Yeah, you could get it done in LA. You could get it done in LA.
Well, well,
Yeah.
what's rough for me now is that you just said visa upon arrival, so maybe I could have done that. Well,
No,
actually I
so
couldn't, because
right.
I
So
I sent off my passport. I was supposed to leave December 26th.
mhm.
Sent off my passport, did the pay more for the expedited 3 day, sent it off on like the 20th or something. And it was a holiday. I mean, Nigeria takes 2 days for Christmas. So that extra day they took for Christmas is why I didn't get my passport back until the 27th. And I wasn't able to make that trip. And it's totally my fault for not checking up on those things. But going to South Africa, you don't need a visa at all. I can
Right.
buy a ticket right now, hop on a plane, and well, I mean, if they let us in due to COVID, but when things are normal. And then when I went to Brazil, that was the only other time I needed a visa, and I went to the LA consulate and got it. It was like 10 minutes.
Hmm.
So I was, but I look forward to going. We were supposed to go back this New Year's, but the year happened the way it happened. So hopefully we can get back there next year. But just being in that environment, and it's not just Africa; it's other places that recognize uh, our worth as you know people in this land. They recognize our worth and love us for it. So I just encourage all black people, in particular black men, touch down on that continent so you could at least be in a place that actually welcomes you.
Yeah, so for future reference, there is a consulate in LA, a Nigerian consulate, where you can go get your visa for future
Well,
reference.
I'm good for about another year. I got like one more year
Oh,
that
that's
I'm.
right. Okay, because
Yeah,
you got your visa, but it was too late. So yeah, so you're good
yeah,
now. But future reference, future reference.
certainly.
Now, brother, can you kind of go into your case as far as what happened and what's going on and
Yeah. So June 10th, 2019. I head out to San Bernardino County. I have a case out there. I live in Los Angeles, so the courthouse about 70 miles from my home and office. I call before I go because this is the day I didn't have court. So this was the day I was taking to go out, pick up discovery, meet with my clients, see the scene, do all that kind of stuff. Um, but at the initial court date, being that it was an arraignment, we don't plan arraignments. Somebody gets arrested, they get a court date. So I had to send an appearance attorney on my behalf because I was engaged in Los Angeles. On that date, the court set a date that was bad for my calendar. They did it before the appearance attorney even got there, but they set a date that was bad for my calendar. So part of me going out there was also trying to see if there was a way that I could change that date without having to send another attorney. And that's all I was trying to do. So I called, said what my issue was. They said I need to go to the clerk's office. So in my mind, I'm not going in any courtroom today. So I dress casually, which uh, I wear a lot of African print. And if
Mhm.
I'm not an African print, it's still like a black designer.
Right.
Um, and so a polo shirt and slacks
Hmm.
is like normal business casual. Whereas for me, it would be like dashiki print shirt and slacks and shoes. So
Right.
that's what I had on when I walked in, and I walked up to the clerk's. I went to the clerk's office. They told me I need to go to the courtroom. Went to the courtroom. Give me 1 second, brother. One.
Okay. Guys, hit that like button again. Please hit the like button as you come to the chat room. Please hit that like button. Greatly appreciate it. Also, make sure you go to dynastymir.com. Again, make sure you go to dynastymir.com. And then tour. Search for Hoover Tour, Sierra Leone, April 21st to the 30th. Come and join us, you guys. Again, please come and join us. We are going to have a great time, a memorable trip, and you guys need to be there. I think the brother was getting some food or drink in traffic. Oh, we lost him. Hopefully he'll come back on pretty soon. I guess the brother was taking a pit stop in traffic and getting some food and some fruit. So yeah, here we go. He's back now.
Hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. Go ahead.
All right. Sorry about that. So yeah, I end up going to the clerk's office. They say, well, to do that, you need to go to the courtroom. Sent me to Department S7. S is in Sam. And I walk in, I walk up to the clerk's desk, get a phone call. The judge is not on the bench, so court is not in session. A deputy comes out and says, he's a custody deputy, Deputy Paul Berry. He comes out and says, hey, do I know you? And I say, no, you don't know me, but I'm here to talk to the clerk about one of my cases. Are you able to see me? I can't see
No,
myself
I
here.
can't. We can't see you, but
All right.
you can turn your camera on. But just keep going so we can get the.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
So he asked me, do I know you? I say, no, but I'm here to talk to the clerk about one of my cases. points to the back and says, "Well, you need to go back there to the audience area of the courtroom, what we call the gallery." I say, "Why?" He says, "Because you're not an attorney." I say, "Well, I am an attorney, and I'm here to talk to the clerk about one of my cases." And he says, "Well, then you need to talk to the bailiff." And so I turn and talk to the bailiff. The first time he tells me that's what I need to do. So I go to her desk. She says, "It's a black woman, Deputy Sutton." She says, "Sir, you see that bar there? Only attorneys can pass that bar." And so I tell her, "I am an attorney, here to talk to the clerk about one of my cases." And I reach into my pocket, my back right pocket, to get my bar card. So I pull out my wallet, but before I could pull out my bar card, Deputy Barry, the white dude, he grabs me and pushes me out to the audience area of the courtroom. And so obviously I'm not happy about this. So I just go to step back around him like, "Man, I'm going to go handle my business." And he puts his hand on me and pushes me back again. So when he puts his hand on my chest, I bring my hand up and put my hand on his, letting him know my displeasure, but I don't use enough force to actually move his hand. So he brings his hand down. Um, we end up having back and forth. I tell him I'm an attorney, I'm an officer of the court. I'm here to speak to the clerk about my case. They ask me about what kind of case. I tell them none. I need to talk to them about. And that was just me, saying you got violent with me. I don't have anything to say to you at this point. Uh, After some more back and forth, they point out a sign that says, "Don't check in, don't approach the clerk, check in with the bailiff." Now that sign is for defendants. Attorneys, our bar card gives us the right to walk in that part of the courtroom. So that sign was really for defendants, and the clerk in the court stated that it was for defendants. Um, but either way, after I saw the sign, I told her, "Okay, well, let the clerk know I'd like to speak with her." And so at this point, I've told the bailiff who I am, what I'm there for, and they just did not believe me. They both testified at that point. They still did not believe I was an attorney. So they ended up, the black woman ended up putting her hand on my forearm, saying like, "Hey, you got to get out of here, go, step outside." So we go outside. I turn, walk out. I tell them they gonna have a problem. We walk out to the vestibule, the little area between the courtroom and the hallway, and I tell her the case number. She asks for the case number. I give her the case number. And after I do, Deputy Barry had come in as well. Now, unbeknownst to me at the time, Deputy Barry had taken his taser out and put his taser behind his back. He secreted it behind his back.
Oh,
Uh,
goddamn. Oh,
and
man.
so when we get into the vestibule, I'm about 3 to 4 feet directly in front of Deputy Sutton. We're face to face. Deputy Barry is to her right and to my left, about 3 feet to her right, 3 to 4 feet to her right, and about a foot or two behind her. He's like leaning up against the wall. Um, so I look at him and, to express understanding what the rights I thought I had under the First Amendment and expressing my displeasure, I said, "You fucked up. You fucked up when you put your hands on me. And I promise you, I'm coming after you. I'm going to come after you with everything I have and everything I learned in law school." And when I went to say, "I promise" again, he shot me with a taser. And, luckily I didn't feel the whole shock of the taser as one of the darts hit my cell phone that was in my left hand. But after he shot me, he rushed me, tackled me, handcuffed me, and that was that. Uh, and they arrested me. Um, they cited me out, but still took me to the county jail to book me so I could suffer that humiliation. And then released me, but then they prosecuted me. And throughout the prosecution, we filed every motion we could to have the case dismissed. They did not dismiss the case. We went to trial, and the judge, they finally presented their theory, which was that I resisted or delayed an officer while performing his lawful duty. Uh,
Hey,
Go
hey,
ahead.
Jay, can you shout out to Fabian in the chat room? Can you turn your camera on by chance? You know how to, or
it's on. I would maybe have
Okay,
to.
yeah, Ghana is just black for some reason. That's weird. Okay.
Yeah, I was on here. Um, Let me
Uh,
see if
uh,
there's.
yeah, go ahead and continue so we could, we don't want to mess up the transmission.
Yeah, yeah. So I get prosecuted. They present their theory. The judge allows them to use 9 different separate acts that I did that a jury could convict me on. Now, by law, the judge should have thrown the case out after the prosecution rested their case, being that, if for me to delay or obstruct an officer first, I have to intentionally delay or obstruct them. And the only evidence was that I was trying to handle my business as an attorney, not at all delay or obstruct them. And secondly, I have to actually delay or obstruct them. And the officer testified that I got that his duties were to man the lockup area as well as secure the courtroom. And he said he pushed me as part of his duties to secure the courtroom. So since he was doing his duty, I could not delay him from doing his duty because that's what he was doing. But still, the jury found me guilty of the fifth act, which was removing his hand off of my chest um, once he pushed me the second time. And that act was a 3-second act. But that's what I got convicted for. And you know, under that mindset, the only way I get convicted under that mindset is the jury believes I'm a criminal beforehand. I'm already a criminal, so anything I do is a crime because I was not prosecuted under the resisting theory of the statute, and because the only thing you can resist is arrest. And so, if he had his hands on me and I was not detained or under arrest, he had no reason to have his hands on me. So, me removing his hands was not any kind of violation. That's why I was not charged with assault on an officer. But by the judge allowing the jury to make that decision and giving them 9 things that were all small, uh, somebody in there just said we got to get them for something and got everybody to agree. Now, since then, one of the jurors have sent in an email to the court and the prosecution and my attorney saying that they were wrong, they shouldn't have, they feel bad about it. They kind of got, they deliberated for 7 hours with only like 10 hours total hours of testimony, 10,
Hmm.
11 total hours of testimony. They deliberated for 7 hours. So that person kind of got beaten to submission. But, at the end of the day, I do plan to appeal. I can't appeal until I'm sentenced November 6th.
Hmm.
But, as I sit here today, I face 1 year in the San Bernardino County Jail
Oh man.
for
Oh man.
removing an officer's hand off my chest that pushed me under the mistaken belief that I didn't have the authority to be where I was.
Now, Attorney Lynn, can you really? Because people, this is what I try to explain to people. I've told people now. San Bernardino is not Los Angeles County, but
No, it's not.
but it's close.
Yeah.
I try to tell people. I've told people, and they don't believe me, that California, I call that Mississippi West, especially the racism
Yeah.
in LA. Can you expand on that? And then also too, Attorney Lynn, if you want to do this, if you want to come out and come back in, and maybe your camera will work then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So guys, again, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you share and you subscribe. Also, go to dynastymir.com. Again, if you're watching this, hit that like button, share, and subscribe, and then go get your Africa is the Now t-shirt over at oh damn, his camera's still not working. Yeah, brother, we'll just roll. Like your camera's still not working, but we'll just go ahead and roll.
Man, that's unique because I done switched over and went to my my Wi-Fi.
Can you use
So I
like your
thought,
rear camera or your front? Like,
let me see what happens when I come here. Let me see here. This is This
Yeah,
is
but
front
like
camera.
I was telling people, like the racism in California, like don't get caught up in that liberal flower power and you know all of that. I tell people the racism in California is serious.
Yeah, it's just telling me if I have issues, try restarting your device.
You want to do that? Go ahead and
Uh,
restart it.
yeah,
It's up to you. It's up to you.
yeah. Let me do that because I'd like to add a visual as well if we
Okay,
can.
okay, yeah. Restart your device and come back on.
All right, thanks.
Yeah. So again, everybody, thank you so much for joining. Yeah, but I try to tell people the racism in California, in LA, because not only are you getting it from white people, you're getting it from the Koreans, you're getting it from the minority coalition, the minority coalition. That's where you're getting it from. I've tried to tell people, but they just, for some reason, they think I'm exaggerating. I don't know why. Again, they think I'm exaggerating. Yeah, guys, when he comes back on, we'll try to troubleshoot the camera issue. So again, guys, hit that like button, hit that like button. We're gonna open up the lines here in about it's 15 minutes. I got Mississippi West from okay, I ain't gonna say but yeah, Mississippi West. He knows where I got that from. But yeah, Mississippi West, definitely. Yeah, man. I tell people the racism I experienced in California, no way. I thought Cali was liberal. That don't mean nothing. You need to read Malcolm X. That means absolutely nothing. What did Malcolm X say about liberals? Again, what did Malcolm X say about liberals? Hey, Fabian, I was going to ask that. I was going to ask him, was it an all-white jury or because San Bernardino. Hold on, but San Bernardino got a lot of black people in San Bernardino. Because during after gentrification, when LA started to gentrify, yeah, there we go. We got you, brother. There we go.
All right, so yeah, so as far as LA and racism, what people have to realize is that um, the although California does have a slave history for one, and for two, California has a lot of immigrants from the Pacific that come across the Pacific, India, Asia,
Koreans.
Koreans, Chinese, Japanese, and they come to assimilate. And when you assimilate into American culture, black inferiority and white superiority is American culture. And so when they look at it, we're not just dealing with the black and white that's been going on for 400 years. Now we're dealing with people who come from, monarchies or come from places where peoples don't have the same amount of rights. And it's their culture that developed that governmental structure where people are more subjects than citizens. And so when they look at us, they get the America tells them we're less than. And so when we uh challenge authority at all, they look at us as like a kid challenging their parent, not so much a citizen who has the right to challenge their government, challenging their government. And and so that's an element that most people don't have in other parts of the country because you still have these, patriotic flag flying Americans, as racist as they may be, they still believe in the individual rights. Now, they might not believe it for us, but they at least believe it for themselves. And so we're dealing with people that don't necessarily believe that they themselves have the level of independent rights that America is supposed to have. And so that's the dynamic that makes it worse. And plus, we don't have black institutions. There's no black colleges. We have churches, and that's it. And then we have 40 million people in California. We're about 6.5% of the state. So that's still, a lot of people. That's over 2 million black people in the state. But we're spread out. And then on top of that, we gangbang. So that
Yeah.
doesn't help us at all. So we don't have that unity. And everyone else just kind of leeches off us because we're very we're very much entrepreneurial, and we make a lot of money. We earn a lot of money for a lot of people. So they keep us around for that. But as soon as we step out of that line, it's like LeBron. They just say shut up and dribble.
Right.
And that's the mindset. And the reason why a lot of other people can't see it is because whites, Asians, Latinos, everybody, they love our music. They'll play our music, but
You
California,
can't judge. Yeah, it's just you can't judge it like that.
you can't.
People think racism ended because you'll go to the club and you see everybody in there listening to Snoop Dogg, but after the club lets out, LA's the most segregated place I ever lived in.
And in LA, they might not even let you in it. You
They play your
outside.
music and won't let you
Yeah,
in
it
it.
won't let you
Exactly.
in the club that they playing your music for.
Yeah.
And especially when it comes to black women in Hollywood.
Yeah.
You go out, you rarely see black women, especially brown skinned black women in Hollywood. And so it's just that kind of mindset that we have, that we're surrounded with. And but it's under the cover of California liberalism. And
Right.
so they don't have to deal with the same scrutiny that they have to deal with in Alabama and Mississippi. But when you look at the numbers, black men in California make up just over 3% of the state's population. Yet we make up 27% of the state's 130,000 prisoners and parolees.
Attorney Lynn, I was telling people this, so I don't know what it is. I don't know why. Once a year, I always got some type of traffic violations or something where I had to go to that courthouse on Hill Street.
Yeah,
And I used to tell people that thing used to be wrapped around the building 8 o'clock in the morning. Nothing but us in that line.
yeah,
Nothing but us.
yeah.
And I was
Well,
just like, yeah,
LAPD, LA Times did an article on the LAPD Metropolitan Division. This is a elite division of the LAPD. They don't have a geographical area like all the other divisions, southeast, valley. So they in 2014, 2015, they made like 4,000 total stops as a unit. They had about 250 officers in that unit. In 2015 and 16, they started. The mayor said they wanted to double the number of people in the metro unit, and then send them throughout the city to try and quell violence. Well, in 2017 and 2018, that same unit that did 4,000 stops in 2014 did 30,000 stops each year. So 60,000 in those 2 years, and 49% of those stops were black people, although we only make up 9% of the city.
you
So
know how
when you
many
look
times I
at
got
the
stopped and harassed?
a whole lot, I'm
And,
sure.
and, and bro, you know what's crazy? And the cops even knew it. Like I'll get stopped, but then you had Hispanics riding around, no license, no insurance.
And it's and that's the thing, is because we,
Bruh.
there's a different, see, in California we deal with a lot of racial hatred and not so much racism. Like, I don't think like the Latino community, and the Latino community for the most part is cool. It's just Latino police are harder on black people than any other group of police, including white police, in my experience. um
I said Koreans got the Korean police got them.
well, it's just not
God,
as many. I guess it's not as many, but yeah, they go pretty hard too.
yeah,
And it's not so much that they actually feel that old school racism, that they're better than us. They just know that they're not and don't like us for it. And
right.
so now you're a cop. You have this power over you. I'm gonna inconvenience you. I'm gonna exert my power over you, and people love that, to just be able to control a black man and make us bend to their will.
Yeah,
And
guys, make sure you hit that like button. So the jury. Let's talk about the jury. What was
yeah,
the racial makeup of the jury? Because there's a lot of black folks in San Bernardino.
yeah, but
Yeah,
even though that area is 9% black, out of the 24 potential jurors, there were zero blacks, and that area is 10% Asian. And out of the 24 potential jurors, there was 5 or 6 Asians. But actually, on the jury, it was 6 men, 6 women. Um, I believe it was like 3 or 4 Asians. Uh, it was like it was like 3 Asians, 4 Latinos, and the rest were white, from what I can recall. And that's the jury that found me guilty. And they all it's crazy. One of the Asian dudes um told us it was like we only had 6 preemptory challenges, and he was at the end. But he told us, he said, "Look, I'm not a good juror for this case because you tell me he didn't listen to a cop, he was wrong." Period. He told us that. So the judge was supposed to kick him off for cause,
Hmm.
but the judge went ahead and tried to is we call it not resurrect. I forget the term off, but the judge went through a series of questions saying, "Well, if I tell you to do this, if I tell you to do that, can you follow it?" And he's like, "I do my best, but now I got this person who just told me no matter what, I'm about to be convicted,"
All right.
and the judge let him on the jury. So those were the kind of things that we were dealing with, and people, it's easy for them to say, "Oh, I'll give everybody a benefit of the doubt," but yeah, I do hold police in high regard, and here there you have it. You have, and this is how the only good thing about my conviction, it shows people how deep systematic and structural racism is, because you had 3 people in that vestibule, right? It was a black cop, Deputy Sutton, a black attorney, myself, and a white cop,
Oh,
Deputy
so
Barry.
Deputy Sutton was black.
Deputy Sutton's black. Now, Deputy Sutton said, "I should not have been tased. I should not have been arrested. I did not present a threat to her or Deputy Barry." I say, "I should not have been tased. I should not have been arrested. I did not present a threat to Deputy Barry or Deputy Sutton." Deputy Barry says he had to tase me because he was threatened and he thought that I was going to attack him. And he didn't even give me a warning because he didn't have time, based on me saying I'm going to come after him, even though he acknowledges, I say, with everything I learned in law school. And for anybody out there questioning, there are no martial arts courses in law school. There's no rifle courses in law school.
Right.
So the only reasonable interpretation is that I'm going to sue you. I'm going to file a complaint. But that's how much it goes. That jury, that DA, that board of supervisors, that sheriff's department, they all uh, took the word of the white cop over the black attorney and the black cop. And that's just an example of how deep the structural racism is that we deal with, and the
I'm
structural
confused. So,
racist
so during
disparities.
the whole altercation, this is where I'm confused. So you're telling them you're a lawyer, you're trying to
Yeah.
pull out your bar card,
Yeah.
and they were just still not having it.
They both testified they just didn't believe it based off the way I was dressed,
Oh, golly,
how I
man.
was acting. But the funny thing about it, Deputy Sutton told the truth. She said when I first came in, my demeanor was like it was friendly. So when Deputy Barry's like, "Oh, he was irate, he was out of control," then they played the audio, and it's like he's talking like how we're talking. You're using the same tone as he's using, but the jurors somehow still believed that I was out of control, and just the mindset of what they said. They said I obstructed him from doing his job in lockup, and so under that theory, if an officer is on a DUI task force out patrolling for DUI, but then they see somebody with their phone in their hand and they stop that person and give them a ticket for the phone in their hand, under these people's theory, they should also get a 148 obstructing an officer, because now you're delaying and obstructing him from looking out for DUI drivers because he had to stop you with the cell phone. And that's basically what they're saying. Because I presented a security risk, and because he had to attend to that security risk, he couldn't do his other duty, and so I obstructed him from doing his other duty. And so that's why I say, in their mind, me being an attorney, a homeowner, a business owner, none of that mattered. I was already a criminal to them because I it could be something else, but I don't know what
Because
else
you
it
because you
is.
wasn't dressed like this.
I wasn't dressed like that. The maybe that was it, but
But the thing is, even when I was dressed like this, I
that it
still
I've still had to pull out my bar card,
right,
even
right,
when I'm
right.
dressed like that,
Mhm.
because now defendants dressed like that as well. So they still have to make sure I am who I say I am. But what I want people to get is that it was so far fetched in the reality of Deputy Barry that I was actually who I said I was. He resorted to violence before. Remember, nobody ever asked me for identification, a bar card, a business card, any of that. Even though Deputy Barry lied and said he did not, and there was no time for him to. Um, Being that the initial conversation was just 10 seconds. And then when you break down what the judge allowed them to, it's kind of funny when you break down what the judge allowed them to decide on, like the nine things. The first one, the very first one was that I ignored three commands from Deputy Barry to go check in with the bailiff before uh, well, three commands to check in with the bailiff. Now, it also said that I ignored two commands, at least two commands from Deputy Barry to go beyond the bar. Now, the thing about that conversation, Deputy Barry acknowledges that the first thing he said to me was, "Do I know you?" He acknowledges that on the record. And so, what they're saying is, after that, in the 10 seconds that we were talking on the video, after that, he gave me three commands to go to the bailiff and three commands to go to the to beyond the and two commands to go beyond the bar. So in this 10 seconds, including him asking me, "Do I know you?" and me responding, "No, but I'm here to talk to the clerk." In the remaining 7 seconds, he gave me five commands that I responded to each one. And it's like it's so outside the realm of reality or possibility, but yet and still the judge still allowed them to pursue that as, and I could have got convicted for that. Uh, the thing about the third act that's very interesting, and I'm just pulling them up so I get it exactly. But the thing about the third act, and four out of the nine acts were related to Deputy Sutton. Now, this statute is specific to an officer. Like, if your partner's over there and I resist you, I can't then be charged with resisting you and your partner. So it has to be specific to that cop. So I would have had to delay or obstruct Deputy Barry only. But listen to the third one. It's that the defendant ignored commands from Deputy Sutton to move to an area beyond the bar or to the bar. So that means, in essence, the judge would have allowed the jury to convict me for delaying Deputy Barry by not following Deputy Sutton's commands. Like, it makes absolutely no sense. And four of those were like that. So if you take those four off, now I'm only facing five different acts. And, maybe it's a little bit more difficult to convict me. But that's the kind of, court I was in that would allow me to allow this to go to the jury. And the reason why we have things set up to allow clear cases like this one to not go to the jury and to be dismissed is because jurors get it wrong sometimes, in both ways. They get it wrong. Sometimes they vote guilty when they shouldn't have, and sometimes they vote not guilty when they shouldn't have. But that's why we don't let it go to the jury unless it's absolutely necessary, or we shouldn't. But the rules changed for me, and that's what it was ultimately. And the jury just ultimately, they didn't disbelieve me. They just said, even though you were there trying to do your job, you still committed a crime by removing this man's
That's
hands
what's
off your
crazy. Like, you're
chest.
there to do your job.
Yeah, that's my intention. But that's why I say I have to be viewed at as a criminal every day of my life. If
Mhm.
me doing my job can result in a criminal obstructing of an officer.
So, did they finally, like, I guess, recognize that you are an attorney? Like, even after the
Yeah.
time, and what?
Later they, I had my wallet in my right hand and my phone in my left. So when he tackled me, I dropped them both. Then when they picked up my wallet and saw my bar card, that's when they were like, "Oh, he really is an attorney.
And then what did they say?
Book him." Like, that's it. now we've deployed this taser. That's the only reason I was really prosecuted, because once you deploy the taser, if I didn't do anything for you to deploy a taser, now
And
you're
you
civilly
liable.
liable.
Right.
But he's still civilly liable for deploying the taser, because what I did apparently to obstruct him happened like a minute before he deployed the taser.
Mm.
And they had steps each and every way. So had they convicted me of something, of any of the other ones, then maybe that would have covered him, his liability. But he'd still be liable even with this conviction, which I don't believe will hold up.
I don't think it'll hold up either. Guys, please call in Uhuru at searchforuhuru.com. We'll take a couple calls. Uhuru at searchforuhuru.com. If you want to ask Attorney Lynn a question. Someone was asking, are you related to Kwaku Person-Lynn?
Yeah, that's my father.
Oh, that's his father. Okay, that's his father. Yeah, so if you guys would like to call in, Uhuru at searchforuhuru.com, send me an email and I will send you a link and you guys can call in. Also, please hit that like button. Again, hit that like button. And then if you want to roll to Sierra Leone with us, April 21st to the 30th, send me an email, message me, and
Mm.
we'll get you guys set up. Sierra Leone is beautiful.
Yeah,
Uh,
that might be a plan. I might have to
hey,
join you.
hey, well, just yeah, come roll.
Yeah, I still ain't seen West Africa. I'm ready to get back
Yeah,
and
West Africa's where it's at, in
and,
my opinion. West Africa's where
yeah,
it's
and where they did, when they did my father's DNA, they did his father's fathers. It came back to the Timne people of Sierra Leone, the
at.
Kru of Liberia, and the Mandinka of Senegal. So it's going to Sierra Leone would really be going home for me.
Yeah, yeah. So we are rolling. So why should people like yourself? Because there are a certain amount of people who say, okay, you make decent money, you're successful. Why are you complaining? Why are you mad? You know, you're doing good. There's no racism because you're doing good.
Yeah.
Why even consider Africa? But even with the level of success that you've experienced, why should someone still consider Africa?
Well, because if you have the level of success that you have here in Africa, you'll be treated like it. When in Africa, when we drive around, if I'm in a nice car driving around, my skin color isn't what cops are looking for, because I'm one of the lighter people there. It's and even though South Africa is a multicolored nation, um, it's just you don't have that. You're treated like a full human being. The main reason, when you look at the record of the United States of America, the founding document of the United States of America is the Declaration of Independence. The first line in the second paragraph of the Declaration of Independence states that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal with a certain amount of unalienable rights, amongst those life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So, three of the five men who were credited with drafting that declaration owned slaves at the time they drafted it. Benjamin Franklin had previously owned slaves, but had given it up a few years earlier. And John Adams was the only one that did not own slaves at all.
Hmm.
And so when you say that all men have the right to liberty, and this group of people, you restrict their liberty, what you are saying is these people are less than men. And that is the mindset that America was created in. And and because that document is still the founding document of this nation, it's still the mindset of this nation. Then you go a little further, about 8 years later, when the Constitution was ratified in all 13 states. And that Constitution, when they did count us, they counted us as three-fifths of a person. And so that's in the mindset of America. And I'd say that's accurate. We have about the rights of about three-fifths of a person, because we'll have some rights. But that's about three-fifths. And if that wasn't enough, you go about 70 years after the Constitution was ratified, and the Supreme Court ruled in the Dred Scott v. Sanford matter that a black man has no rights that a white man is bound to respect, and that we can be subjected to enslavement for our own good because we are, in fact, an inferior people. So this is what America actually said about us. And there's never been a document that rescinded what those things have said. All they did, they gave us some citizenship, but that doesn't give us our humanity. And so America on record, on document, does not accept or respect our humanity. So as the brother Kanye West said, even if you in a Benz, you still a nigga in a coupe. And that's why I would tell
Fact.
people to go to Africa, because now you're a man in a coupe. You're
Mhm.
not just a nigga in a coupe. And that's a great feeling. And I want everybody to feel that.
Because we were having this discussion. In fact, I'm gonna do a whole nother show on it. Fabian, I sent you the link. Um, let's see here. Diallo 224. I'm gonna send you the link as well. And like I said, then we'll take one more caller after that. So a lot of people will say, well, you know what? I would rather deal with the racism here in America because we have ownership in this land, we built this country, and then the infrastructure in Africa is not there.
Yeah. And what I say to that is, one, every we've all more than likely known a woman that was in an abusive relationship but still had Gucci sunglasses to cover up her black eye. Had
I'm
a
not laughing, but you
yeah,
just
but
said a lot.
that's what it
Covered up her
is.
black guy with Gucci sunglasses. She's
Yeah.
gonna forget about that
And
black
so
eye.
it's like if you give up the relationship that's abusive, although you won't have a black eye, you also won't have a Gucci. And so
Right.
what's worth more? And so that's what I say to those people is that we are in an abusive relationship here in the United States of America. And if we're to accept that, then we just have to accept it. We can't complain. Don't even try and make it better, because you must accept your inferiority. If you're not going to accept that, then you need to do something about it. And what do we do about it? Most black people in America are Christians, and of all the people I've studied in the world, the people I identify with the most as a people is the Israelites in the Bible, because they were in the America of the day, Egypt, and they were subjected to all kind of abuses. And even when they quote unquote got free, Pharaoh still kept messing with them. God sent the plagues. Pharaoh still kept messing with them. And the only thing that got Pharaoh off their back is when they left. And so we need to re examine that. We need to re examine our condition and our position here and realize we've tried everything. There is nothing else we could try. We've tried violence. We've tried peace. We've tried marching. We've tried voting. We've tried buying land. We've tried having Black Wall Street. Everything we try gets shut down. And when something is rooted, as I just explained on how our inferiority is rooted in this nation, even if you cut it down, even if you cut that weed, if you don't get that root out, it's just going to keep growing back. So we had a lot of riots in the 60s and things got better for a little while, then it came back. So we burned down the city again in 92, and right after the 92 uprising, that was the best it felt to be black in LA. But now we're right back at it
Right.
because the we didn't root it out, and so it just grew back.
All right. Diallo 224. Go ahead.
Hey, how you guys doing?
No,
I'm good.
good,
How are you?
brother.
Hey, Jay, actually, we got a mutual friend. My man Detravius. We grew up together.
Hey, down in New Jersey, huh?
Yeah. That's my man. I heard you on his podcast too. But I wanted
Yep.
to ask you about Eswatini. That's one of the places I was looking to visit next. So
Yeah.
how did you like it out there? Like as far as like an investment area or a place to live?
Oh man, I actually ran into a brother that's living out there, who's working to bring more Wi-Fi to people. So that's what he's doing. But it was real chill. It's like living in the country, living in Eswatini. But it was real chill, and although you could tell people don't have a lot, I don't recall seeing one beggar in Eswatini. As even though you saw, maybe the Tin Metal Shacks and the shanty towns and whatnot, It was safe. I didn't feel like there was a whole lot of violence. There's enough to do in the form of outdoors. You know, they got the casinos if you want to do that. They got some sports. So I really enjoyed my time there. I only spent a couple days, but I really enjoyed my time, and I was very much well received by the people there.
So where would you be looking to relocate to if for your plan?
For me, I mean, at this point in South Africa, I haven't seen anything else. I'm looking forward to getting to West Africa, but that's where it would be. And it's actually the crazy thing. Today was the first day I actually talked to a realtor in South Africa. Realized that they'll only give me 50% on a loan to purchase a home, and saw that they got some real nice properties that I would enjoy living in for about 150,000. That if I sold my house, I'd be able to get like a 4 bedroom, 3 bathroom on the water. But being that my parents live in my home, my grandmother lives in my home, at least until that's happened, I'd probably keep my home here. But that's what I'd be looking for. And part of the reason when I say we should, I do think we should leave, but I don't necessarily think we should all go to the same place. And Cape Town was a lot like LA, and I'm like a real LA dude. So I really identify with Cape Town, but I also am very much into politics. So Pretoria, which is about 45 minutes outside of Johannesburg, seemed like a real good place for me as well, because I think I'd really be able to navigate the political scene there. And because it's such a new democracy being founded in 1990, I think I could really do some things to help avoid some of the mistakes that we have here in the U.S.
Yeah, that's a good point as far as people going to the same place. But I tell people that it's not really expensive to have an Africa plan. I
No,
mean, I
no.
bought a house for 32,000. My homeboy bought one. You could get them in Gambia for 30,000. Kenya, you can get condos in Dakar, in
Yeah.
Abidjan for like 30, 40,000. So it's not that expensive to, relocate. Like one of my homeboys, I've taken three homeboys to West Africa, to Guinea, and two of them want to relocate to Africa. One of them bought a house, sight unseen, just bought it. The other one wants to go to Gambia or Sierra Leone. He's
Yeah.
deciding between, which two places.
Yeah. And as a side note to that, the shirt I had on was from a company, Jekka, which hand makes their clothes in the Gambia. And so I kind of joke when I say I wasn't shocked by the taser, that I have vibranium in my shirt, and that's why it didn't get to me. But that's I would do that. And the thing about West Africa is a whole lot of beach property out there. And the other great thing about Africa, we have hurricanes, earthquakes, blizzards, all of that. There's not a lot of big natural disasters down there, so that's something else to consider. But I've been received well, and when I've went to Africa, I've heard people have different experiences, but the majority of people I've talked to have been received well as well.
So do you have any other people in your circle that are considering to move there, or do you think like after you go there they'll be like, oh, I could do it too because he did it?
Well, yeah, there's some. It's a friend of mine. We grew up together, went to school together. She's actually the reason I got A's in Spanish in college, because she was bilingual, and I, would email my projects to her, and she'd translate them for me. But her husband is from Senegal, and she just put her house on the market because she's ready to go. And then I got a few Nigerian buddies that have properties out there, that's who I was supposed to go to Nigeria with. But as in my inner circle, the two that I'd say I have, the two or three that I have, nobody has immediate plans because life is overall good. But I'm just, but they're a lot closer now than what they were, and this experience that I just had has helped them get closer, because now it's more clear to them that whatever they do in their life, it could happen to them as well, just like it happened to me.
Mm. Hey,
Yeah,
Diallo, let me get another call on here, man, brother. But appreciate you calling.
thank you.
No problem, bro.
Thanks.
All right, Fabian, I'm gonna get Deborah on, and then I'm gonna get you on last, Fabian. That cool? Okay. All right, Deborah, go ahead.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey, how
Hi.
you doing?
No, I'm doing too good. I'm doing pretty good. I really enjoyed listening to what you said, because I'm not gonna lie. I used to think that sometimes when, you know, our brothers and sisters in America talk about what's going on in America, I kind of used to think that was a facade. I thought it was an over exaggeration, but just hearing your perspective and what you went through just really made me think. Because much like Prince Dynast, I was thinking, okay, well, if I get in corporate America, like I'm gonna be good. My life's gonna change, and I'm definitely starting to really understand things. So, I mean, definitely want to keep up with what's going on with you, but I'm just, I'm really thankful that you came on and really said it from your perspective, because you being as notary as you are, it really does, bring a different perspective to this type of conversation.
Yeah.
I was also thinking, were you, I didn't really catch this in the interview, but were you thinking about Africa beforehand or?
Oh yes. I was, and I I've been thinking about it since 2006 when I first went. That's when I realized I could actually move there. But I'm very family oriented. I love my family. Support my family in many ways. But now it's like I'm getting to the point that y'all just, if as long as I can offer you a ticket to come with me, if you don't want to go, that's on you.
That's on you. That's
Yeah.
exactly. That's on you. That's exactly.
So you're actually thinking of cutting, like you're thinking of actually dipping for real?
Yeah, my birthday is November 18th. I'm 37. So the plan I have is that my 40th birthday um, is going to be either my welcome to where I'm going or my goodbye party. And there's no guarantee 100% it'll happen. America could change its ways and make life decent for us. I just don't expect it.
Okay. And also, I was wondering, do you have any property over there, or were you still like?
Not yet. I do have property here in Los Angeles, but not yet. Um, and so but today was the first day I actually talked to a realtor and looked at some properties today. So I've started the process today to acquire some property there.
Oh, awesome. Well, if you're ever looking to go to Ghana, we definitely would love for you to come. We definitely just welcome you so much, and we definitely love you so much. And, you know, we're just really sorry that this is happening to you and other people, but we want to move forward and go on the next level.
Well, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, board. Thank you. Thank you. All right, Fabian, go ahead, brother.
Jaaye, what's up, my brother?
What's good, brother? Appreciate you, man. I really do.
No problem. So, first, just Dynas, want to thank you for opening up your platform for today's interview. And Jaaye, thank you for being open to sharing your experience. After I found out about what happened to you, man, I was, pacing the floor, walking around in circles, trying to figure out what I can do to help you. And I thought, what exposure is the best thing.
Number
And I knew
one, yeah.
I knew you and Dynas would hit it off real well, man. So I'm glad that this thing happened today. Uh, with that being said, I just want to know, what is it that anyone can do that's observing? What can we do to help you?
Okay, well, first of all, thank you, man. Thanks for setting this up. For anybody that doesn't know, Fabian hooked us up. We went to high school together. And I have I'm asking people to submit letters to the judge. Those can come directly to me as part of our sentencing memo and mitigation package. Also, letters to the DA that still has the power to dismiss the case. As well, we have a change.org petition that's got currently a bit over 2,000
What's the brother? What's the
signatures.
if you could do me a favor, if you could email me the link to the change.org and I could put that. In fact, I could look it up probably and then I'll put it in the
Yeah,
chat.
yeah, just with my name. And then
Okay.
Also, I haven't been pushing the GoFundMe. It's not fully a pride thing, but it's like I have to understand the reality. Like I could get a year in the county jail, in which I would do half time, which would be 6 months. And being that I am the business, that money just would not be made while I'm in custody. So I do want to start pushing my GoFundMe a little bit more because I will need resources for the appeal as well as in the event that I am put in custody. That I want to be able to make sure my affairs could remain in order while I'm away.
All right. Well, you got a package. You got an envelope coming from me. So
I appreciate that. And what I want people to know is that when they go to change.org is like, man, if you give $20, we'll do more impressions. And a lot of people think that money's coming to me. It's not. That money goes to change.org. So definitely I encourage people to sign the petition. And if you do want to do that for the purpose of helping making it bigger, do it for that reason. Just understand it wouldn't be coming to me.
So, Jaaye, have you looked at, so what worst case scenario, is
Yeah.
there any possibility that you can be disbarred as a result of this?
Oh man.
It's always the possibility, but the bar has to do their own independent verification that I did something worthy of discipline. And so I think when they look at the scenario, uh, they will realize, like, okay, there was no delay. There's no way he delayed this officer. There's no evidence that he intended to delay this officer. Therefore, although he was convicted, they would dismiss any disciplinary actions against me because once they do their investigation, they'll find that I actually did not do anything that violated the law or moral turpitude.
So so actually, Dynas, before we went to Nigeria last November, I tried to get Jaaye to come with us to Nigeria, but he was like a couple of weeks after we left, he was already heading to South Africa. So he didn't go with us. He ended
I
up.
left November 16th for South Africa.
Yeah.
And we left November 5th for Nigeria.
Right.
So eventually, all three of us need to go ahead and take a trip together so we can, make some big boy moves.
Yeah, this April trip sounds good.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Bobby's coming.
Yeah, I'm going.
Okay.
I'm going. So
Well,
let's do that. Offline we'll make it happen. The question is, so in the event that we hope this doesn't happen, but given our history in this country and in the world, by now we should be used to and prepared for if the carpet is pulled out from up under us, because it happens all the time. Okay.
Yeah.
So, in the worst case scenario, if that occurs, have you already looked at what it takes to practice law in South Africa?
Yeah, it would be about a 2-year process. I have to do 1 year of coursework and then a year of what's called articles, which is like internship work, and then I can be licensed there. So yeah, I've been looking at that for a while, and I could not find an online program for that coursework because if I could, I would try to start that while I'm here now.
Okay, and so you said you spoke with an agent, a real estate agent in South Africa.
Yeah.
And the loan is 50%.
Yeah.
So if you buy a house for 150,000, you gotta come with 75,000 cash.
Yeah.
We can make that happen.
Hey man, I believe so, and that's just there, and that's still a nicer place. Like I don't need super luxury accommodations. I've never had them, so I mean I'd like to live in a nice place, but I just know it's not 100% necessary. I just need to get away and clear my mind, because I think what we'll find is once we allow our mind and our bodies the freedom and leeway to just be free, the possibilities of our mind will just be so far, and it'll take us so far, and we'll figure out all kind of things that we can do to help improve society wherever we go. We just have to remember we are the talent. We are the reason America won the world wars. We are the reason America is the leaders in technology and sports and science. And so we are the talent. So just like, wherever LeBron James went, he won.
Correct.
Wherever we go, we're gonna win.
That's right. Man, you a giant, man.
I
All you brothers,
appreciate that, man. For a
yeah,
5'3", brother, that means a lot.
man, you a giant, man. Ain't nobody going, this system is not going to crush you, brother. We not going to let
Nah.
that happen, brother.
Nah, that
You
ain't
know,
gonna happen. That ain't
man,
gonna happen at all.
I've known Jaaye for what, since like 1997, 1998
Yeah.
when we were in school.
Yeah.
And this brother has always been a solid individual, always been an exceptional human being. We've never had any falling out with each other, always maintained a very solid relationship. Brother, anything in my power that I can do to help you, brother, I will do. And you knowing me for such a long time, know that I'm
Yeah.
always my word.
I know for a fact that's honest, man. And just the call you gave me the other day, man, it really just made me feel good. Because when you can go out and fight that battle and know you're not alone in that battle, that really changes how you engage.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And I'm proud of you in spite of this situation, which is completely unjust that you have to endure. Brother, be encouraged. You know what I'm saying?
Thank
You
you,
the champ.
brother.
You the champ. You the champ,
Thanks,
brother.
brother.
You're
I
a champ.
appreciate it.
So,
I
And
appreciate it.
brother, real quick, I can't find your change.org. If Fabian
So
or
what
someone
I
could email that to me so I could put that in the chat
Okay,
room for
yeah,
everybody.
I'll get that to you ASAP. And yeah, man, I just appreciate you all doing what you are doing for me. What I'll do, I have a link here. I mean, I've created like a notes here with all the links: the Atlanta Black Star article, the Bad Apples video, the Change.org petition, and so I'll just copy that now and send it over, Fabian. You could just copy and forward it.
no
All right.
problem. I
All
got
right.
you.
Thanks a lot, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey,
So,
Dynast,
Yes,
brother,
sir.
you've I've certainly contributed to the show because the platform that you have is important. I heard you earlier saying you don't have the budget of the CBS and the CNN, but what you do have is the freedom to speak your mind, and you're
Right.
using it to the best of your ability, and
Right.
that's
Facts.
an
Facts.
example that
Nobody has their hand up my back. I'm not a puppet. Right. Facts.
exactly.
Like
You
everybody
you
else.
we
Facts.
doing that, and so
Facts.
this is the platform because wherever we are right now, that we could all be in 4 different countries and we could still be doing this. So
Right.
with technology, we can stay connected, and as a people, wherever even if we scatter throughout the world, we'll still stay connected through our common experience of being descendants of the enslaved.
that's right.
And then brother Amara, he's actually in Sierra Leone. But brother Amara, go ahead.
Hey,
Hey, greetings, brother.
greetings, brother Mar.
Hello, how you doing? Can you see me?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
can see you,
we
good
can barely
brother.
hear you though. But
Yeah,
go ahead.
just give me a minute, man.
All right.
Uh, hey,
Go
what's
go
going on?
go ahead, brother.
Uh,
Right.
I just want to my brother, what's your name? Jaaye
Right.
Person-Lynn
yeah.
Esquire.
Yeah, Jaaye.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Jaaye.
Jaaye.
I am Timothy. I am Timothy from the kingdom of San Bernardino in Sierra Leone, and I come from one of the houses of the kingdom of the Timothy kingdom.
Mm.
There are 4 houses that make up that kingdom. I just want to say congratulations that you find out you're Timothy. You're a brother of mine. We got Facebook groups for all the diasporas and where you can learn the language, basics on the language. A lot of diasporans that can trace their DNA to Sierra Leone and the
Yeah.
Timneys took trips down there to our district is Bombali district.
Yeah.
And the 2 big districts that are Timney are Bombali district, Port Loko district, and Koinadugu district in northern Sierra Leone, which we dominate. We dominate northern Sierra Leone and western Sierra Leone. The only other tribe that dominant is the Mendes. That dominates the south and the east. So I just want to say I welcome you. You're welcome to Sierra Leone, you Timney. We do have a Facebook group, and we look out for our Timney people the president of Sierra Leone passed a rule when he came in that all descendants of the slave trade that they can trace their DNA to Sierra Leone gets automatic citizenship. I just want to put it out there, and the fact that you're Timmy,
Automatic.
I am so grateful.
We'll talk offline, Jaaye.
Yeah. But I think I'm signing up for this trip.
Yeah, Jaaye, we about to turn you into a West African cat.
Hey, I already am. You about to reintroduce me.
That's right. That's
All
right.
right, man. Well, look, brothers, I actually got to run, do a sound check for another show I'm doing, man. But just thank you for the opportunity to share with your audience. Thank you for connecting me. Thank you, Brother Amar, for the invitation. And I look forward to meeting you in person, brother. And you as well,
Always.
Brother Dynas. I really appreciate it.
No problem, brother. All right, y'all. We appreciate everybody joining. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Go to dynastymir.com. Until next time, family. Dynasty Mirror, search for Huru. Peace.
Okay.